And so this club has been created for those that really just want to do the research right, get a good understanding on what it would take to get into the mobile coffee business, whether that's cart, truck, or trailer. The course is really designed for all the above, and for all the states as well. I get that as a common question. Is it just for my state? No, I mean, I've done so many at this point. And I should probably, if you're new to me, I've been in the business now my 12th year, and I've had multiple coffee trucks and trailers and shops and carts and all that good stuff over the years. And I currently run a coffee trailer out of Albuquerque, New Mexico called Big Dipper. We run a coffee school where we teach barista classes specific to mobile coffee, carts, and trailers. And then we have another marketing agency called Bean Sprouts where we help people scale their business. So that's me. With this video, really what I want to do is just give you a walkthrough of what this course looks like, so you have a really good understanding on kind of what you're getting yourself into. And that way you just kind of have a heads up before you spend any money, which is kind of the whole idea behind mobile coffee startup, is learn what you're getting into before you spend the money. So what we want people to do is understand the relationship of the permits and the equipment and all the finances and all that stuff before you start taking out loans or buying 10K espresso machines or whatever else you might be doing. Because I've seen that happen more than once, where people have purchased things prior to really having a good understanding on what they're getting themselves into, only to have to go back and either repurchase things or sell something, or it's a mess. So yeah, no further ado, I just want to dive in here. So let me just share a screen so you can kind of get a feel for what this whole thing is. Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump over here first just to the website. So if you're on the website, this is the landing page for mobile coffee startups. It's literally under one of the tabs. You just click on the tab and it brings you right to the page. There's nothing funky or special about it. You can see here that we have an open enrollment, closed enrollment system. So we're going to be open to June 4th. We had to change the date because really there's been a big spike of business, and I want to get everybody in for the June 4th live Q&A. So this is 2026 when I'm recording this. So if you see this in the future, then that's when we started it. So yeah, I'm not going to go through the whole landing page, but if you want to sign up, there's the button. What it will do is it will take you into this platform. This is Kajabi. It's who I use for my back end. And this is where I host all my courses, my meetings, my community, that type of stuff. So you'll get a login and you have to go through it. But yeah, so this is where you can kind of see over here, we have live Q&A that's set up for the first Thursday of every month, and it's for an hour and a half. And then we have these little things called challenges. And basically this just to help kind of move you through the homework, right? Because it can kind of be overwhelming, like, oh, what am I supposed to do? So it just kind of breaks everything down. Here, start with the groundbreaker challenge. When you're done with that, move to the bean engineer, down to the shot caller, and eventually you'll be captain of the sea. So yeah, so that's the 4 different challenges we have. And so we have that there. But I really want to kind of break into the curriculum, because that's where the meat and potatoes of this entire thing is. So you're going to have you'll have a choice to either go into the coffee trailer or the coffee cart. And so we have 2 courses inside this one course, so it's really made for everybody. So you get a decision. You go, okay, well, do I want to do a coffee cart or do I want to do a coffee trailer? And if you're not sure, you can go back and forth. It's no big deal. Whatever you decide is not set in stone. But it's really just to help you start working your way through the process. So module 0 is all about the course and how to do it, of course. Things like how it's structured, how to follow along, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes into module 0.1, which is our groundbreaker challenge. And the groundbreaker really just comes down to business planning and profitability. So this is where we go into all these different lessons, choosing the right setup, cart, trailer versus truck, startup, breakdown, do it yourself versus purchased, how your revenue is generated, cost per cup. We have a profit calculator to help you calculate everything, the break-even analysis, so you know exactly at what point are you getting your money back. So that's this entire thing is all about just profitability, learning how much you're going to make and really getting a good understanding on that. So a whole bunch of lessons in there. Show you all those. Actually goes on to a second page. Here we go. And there's the final challenge. Cool. So that's module 0.1. So It's not even module one. Then module one is digital footprint. So it's branding, it's trademark research, it's logo, it's naming, it's digital presence, and all that good stuff. Module two is business registration, your legal setup, all the stuff that you're going to need to know, like EINs, basic compliance, banking, things that I've learned over the years, insurance, how to, count your beans and keep your records. And then we get into some nice, juicy health department, understanding kind of the permitting landscape and the umbrellas and all that, the different classifications, what plan reviews are, application processes, inspection day, fire department permits, often overlooked. People don't understand that you also have to get your fire department permit, that inspection process, how to find commissary kitchens and what they are. So it really digs into that. Let's see, that module 4 is different cart types, transport, storage consideration. Module 5, tent, exterior setup, customer interface, like how people are going to interact with you, things like workflow. Module 6 is electrical systems. Module 7 is plumbing systems. And, like on any one of these, when you go to click on it, just click on plumbing. You'll have things like, okay, do you want to hire people out? And if so, watch this video. Here's how you screen for a plumber, blah, blah, blah. If you want to do it yourself, here's this video. And, here's the tanks you're going to need and the pumps. And here's a bunch of links to different things so that you can actually find this stuff and shorten your many, many, many hours of research that it takes to do this. So each one of these lessons are kind of loaded up pretty thick. Module 8 is materials and cart builds. You have to meet health code standards, so we go over that. 9 is equipment, and then 10 is grand opening. So this is, all the research basically that it would take from starting, even before starting your business, from just learning your numbers through opening the business, what it's going to take to do that, what it's going to take to have your to be tax compliant, the health codes, the cart itself, the different tents, the electric, the plumbing, the materials, the equipment, and everything that you need to do to get to your health inspection and grand opening. So that's all there. Some folks may not do a cart. They might decide to go into the trailer, which is totally cool too. So this is the trailer. Looks like I'm open on the wrong one here. Let me back up for a second here. So, module 0 starts pretty much identical as the first one, but it's for this particular course. Just kind of gives you an overview of what the course is. Then again, the groundbreaker. This is specific to trailers. So when we get up to things like startup cost, you're going to have actual startup costs from things that I've literally built out. And so that's really important because, like here, I know how much a 12 gauge extension cord costs, so all these things have been build outs from the past that we've kept track of over time so that you have, a really dialed in trailer or truck expense. Same with monthly operating costs. These, I operate every month. And so I have some numbers that I can give you as far as like what I spend on my monthly operating costs. And this is good stuff. You're going to kind of need to know this, like, oh, how much does it cost to do your maintenance on your espresso machine and those type of things. Again, break-even analysis, and then we go into branding, and from branding we go into business registration and legal setup. And this is kind of set up systematically for a reason. It's the reason I do it this way is because you want to get your branding and all that good stuff before you put in for your business. I mean, you could put in for your business first, but it's just a good idea to check your name and make sure that there's no trademark on it. And that way you're not infringing on anybody and having to go back and like do a DBA because you got the wrong business name, So DBAs, do business as, it's where you want to, when people want to operate by a different name than what the actual business is named. So anyhow, health codes gives you a big old walkthrough on health codes, truck trailer purchase and contractor considerations, window placement, electrical systems, plumbing systems, wall ceilings and floors, cabinets, counters, workflow, equipment, goes over espresso machines, grinders, refrigerators, HVAC generators, and any one of these, you click on them. And generally when I like to teach about the fundamentals of things, like here's the voltage, here's wattage, here's amps, gas tank size equals this many hours of actual operation. these type of things that you know. And then, you know, once you do that, then I'll actually give some actual recommendations. So I want you to know kind of what you're doing, and then here's my recommendation. I don't like to just spit out recommendations. It's just my style of teaching. So, so all these, you know, POS systems, blah, blah, blah. Construction order. So if people want to build out their own, they can see what the sequence looks like. And then grand opening. So that's essentially the course. Let me go ahead and jump out of there. So right now, let's see, we have it. We're, you know, brand new course that we're opening to everyone. Basically, I just took a bunch of my old courses and condensed them into one big course so that people can really get an understanding on this. We have a founder's price where we're letting it go for $29 a month. I mean, you really can't beat that. It'll be moving up to $50 a month, and that starts on, on June 4th. And I think it's worth well more than that. But, you know, for folks that are just wanting to get an understanding on this, I think this is a really good way to do that. So that's it. If you're interested, greenjoecoffeeschool.com, click on the link and it'll take you there. This video, I imagine, will go to like probably YouTube and Facebook and a bunch of other stuff. So, but thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys in class. All right, bye.